On to Iowa. Very good football team. If you watched the last game against Michigan, you kind of see what type of football team we're talking about that we're up against. Excited to play our last home game here, especially for some of our seniors. Senior day, I mean, that's special. You know, it's a memory that you're going to have forever your last time playing out here, so we want to send the guys off the right way. In order for that to happen, we need to play better football than we did this past week. We understand that. I think we're more of the Michigan State version than last week's game. Westlawn, of course, came in the second half. No injuries to report from that game. Hopefully we'll get a couple more guys back like Jamal Milan that didn't play this past week. Take your question.
Lovie, that film, do you take as much from that as
What film? We're on to Iowa, so that should answer your question. Then really look at it, so didn't get much from it.
What did you think of Westlawn when he came in, and what do you hope for going forward?
You know, hadn't played in a while, so it was the first time to get back. We'll need to play better this week. As a team, we'll need to play better this week. Tough situation. You know, we're down like that. But again, you have to have your first time back, and he got that out of the way.
Coach, after the Michigan game, one thing you had said was that you saw some positives in the second half that you could look at moving forward. With this Wisconsin game, anything now you saw after watching tape that you say, hey, this is something that...
Again, it's been a whole lot of time on it, so I can't talk an awful lot about the Wisconsin game. You guys saw it. Not much to get from it. Didn't play well. Then we'll play well Saturday. Look the same Sunday. Monday, we're on to Iowa.
What did you see in that Michigan game from Iowa that, you know, obviously they hadn't played that well against them?
What I saw is I think the team that they like to be. Committed to the run, physical football game. I think Iowa has an outstanding tailback that can make you miss in the open field. Seems like each week we've talked about the opponent's tailback, the tailback position, and how it's good each week in the Big Ten. That's definitely the case. I saw a commitment to the run. They played hard throughout. Even adversity late in the game, you know, threw a pick at the end of the game, stopped them, made Michigan punt, and then got in position to kick the winning field goal. Defensively, you know, played hard. You know, saw, you know, two heavyweights really battling. And you can get up. You know, a lot of times when you haven't played your best ball, you want to come back home in front of your home crowd, and that's where we are.
You mentioned this senior day. What's been sort of your general thinking as far as the senior class through this whole transition with leadership and things like that?
You know, you're appreciative of the senior class as much as anything. You know, the plan was for us to have a better record right now, but from what we've gotten from our seniors is what I thought we would get. You know, good leadership. They show up each day. They've allowed us to coach them, wanted to be coached throughout. That's why it's so important that we rise up and play our best ball. Where we are right now, I can't do much about what's happened in the past, but we can play our best ball this week, and we're going to do everything possible to see that happens.
Based on your coaching career, what's it like for the final 2 weeks of the season where you know, the season hasn't gone the way you wanted it to? What do you try to do, or what do you hope to get out of the play?
Well, you know, you talk each week, each game about finishing strong, and that goes with the season too. Whether you're having a great year before or you've been disappointed a little bit in what has happened before you during the season, you want to finish up a certain way, and that's what, you know, we have. The things you can do, some players can check out, I guess you can say, and just want it to end. But I think you have to have a pulse, you know, know the pulse of your team a little bit. We don't have those kind of guys. And you're going to have a lasting taste in your mouth, as simple as that, with everything that you do. And that's where we are. I think it's good to have a couple of teams that you have tradition with, you know. You know, we used to, you know, this used to be our main rival, you know, the University of Iowa. Of course, Northwestern is taking over that now. But so to finish up the season this way, there's a lot to play for. And then just your pride. You have 2 more opportunities to play good football.
would it mean for Wes to have some good performances in his last few weeks?
It means a lot, just like every other senior. As I've said, it's you want to go out a certain way, and that's playing the best ball you played all year. And for a player like Wes that's been out a while, you can't wait to get back out there. To play a half last week, but to start the game this week, for our seniors, to start the game, to acknowledge your parents before, and to start your last game in the stadium should mean an awful lot. But that's before. But then it's about how you play, and that's it. We have played good ball at times throughout the year, and what we want to see for our football teams have a great week of practice and play our best ball. That's what it's all about, playing the best possible game we can this week.
What have you learned about Wes in your 7-8 months with him so far?
What have I learned about Wes? What I've learned about every other football player. We've seen him in every situation. We'll learn more this week. What we haven't seen Wes and the rest of our guys in is how we're going to finish the football season. But everything that we've asked him to do, we wanted him to do, he shows up. He's a captain. He behaves that way on and off the football field. There's nothing to dislike. You like everything about him. I'm saying Wes and, Hardy Nickerson, Joe Spencer, DeJuan Smoot. We have some seniors, of course, that, and you can say the same thing about all of them. I think all the graduates, it's the same thing.
How about questions from the phone lines for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, Jeremiah Davis here from the Cedar Rapids Gazette. I was curious, Iowa had two very starkly different games against the run, against Penn State and Michigan. Was there anything you've seen from them that, could give you a chance to have the game Penn State had instead of Michigan?
Well, we're looking for that. If I did know it, I probably shouldn't tell you right now. But there were two different teams that played, and it's hard to tell the reason why. I just know you have to be ready each week, and you don't know for sure what you're going to get. I just know the last one that we saw. That team against Michigan this week is a pretty good football team. A team that could win every game that they play, playing the way they did last week, and we're preparing for that team that we saw then.